I'm going to be real with all of you. I'm starting this long form content journey and it feels completely outside of my comfort zone. So I'm going to be open and honest, what comes up along the way as I start this journey. But I'm going to hold myself accountable to at least posting once a day for the next 30 days, 10 to 20 minutes. Sometimes I'll come in with a topic in mind, sometimes I'll just come and speak from the heart. Today feels right to speak from the heart. The reason I want to do long form content now and why it's important now is because I feel like that's exactly like what this philosophy and message really needs. It needs that space. It needs to slow down because that's exactly what I teach behind scenes when I'm working with clients and how I apply this philosophy to my life as well. So short form accidentally, subconsciously kind of puts me back into those more survival behaviors and patterns that I'm really trying and working towards not aligning with at all anymore. I guess I don't align with them anymore, but what I'm actively doing is not allowing myself to act out on those things anymore, because short form content, gently encourages us to water ourselves down, keep it short, get to the point. Like, there's so many different things that are just always drilled in my head from either short form content or the entrepreneurship space or the coaching space. I just have all of these rules and rigid ways of how it should look and how it should be. And that's why I feel this philosophy just doesn't fit there any longer. Like, I used to be really good at short form content, but now that I've began my second transition as a trans man in this lifetime, and I've, made this philosophy of liberation public for the last year, I recognize it just doesn't fit on that platform. But switching over to long form has, for some reason, just being open, honest, and transparent, so scary for me. And it's encouraging me to face a lot of those underlying shadows that I wasn't really aware of, but that I was still carrying while I was doing short form. Because short form, it's like I can get on and off really quick and be polished on and then get off, whereas long form, it's like, no, you have to kind of like really be, allow your presence to lead the way and allow that expression to lead the way. And I don't know why that feels so scary to me, because I've really done a lot of deep work inside of myself, and I say I don't know why, but I do know why. It's just like I'm at that point of like I have to act now, or the universe is just going to keep pushing me that way. Like, universe, God, creator has literally been like tapping at my brain for the last, like, I'd say like year, like, get on YouTube. Like, it's just that gentle push, like, you need to get over there. Like, long form, it's your time. And I've gone through so many different things that I'm here. I don't need to process it anymore. I don't need to analyze it anymore. I don't need to self-inquire anymore. I just need to move forward and get the ball rolling. And with that being said, that's, a part of my liberation method in action in real time. That's like the embodiment piece of the liberation method. We go from awareness, like when I started to put long form content out there here and there, and then I just started a podcast recently. I was able to put up, I can't even remember, I think it was 1 or 2 episodes, and then I genuinely got scared. I was like, oh no. It's like block, procrastinate, avoid. And that's like where I'm at. So after putting that out a couple of times, starting the podcast, what that did by taking those new actions and making those new choices, though, it had allowed all of those shadows, limiting beliefs, and things internally that were blocking me from continuing to take that action. So that's the awareness stage of the liberation method. It's like I become aware without judging myself or attaching or personalizing anything. And it's just like, okay, let's observe what is actually coming up. Like, let's see. And the idea is you don't need to fix it, and you don't need to rush to an answer. You sit with it long enough that the insight comes through your body eventually. It's in the slowing down that the rewiring stage can come from your bodily insight. So, for example, like the awareness stage was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm, betraying like my mission in a way if I leave Instagram and if I leave like the short form way of doing content. Like, I've been doing it for so long. Like, what does that mean about my identity and all these different things? Blah, 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 blah. That's the awareness of like all these things coming up. And then the rewire, after sitting with it long enough, was like, hey dude, you're not actually starting over here. Like, this is actually a really good sign for you. Like, you're evolving your message, you're evolving your voice, you're evolving your expression. This is what you're all about. Like, it's uncomfortable for a reason. It's bringing up all of these shadows for a reason, because it's exactly where you know you need to go. It's exactly what you need to step into. See, the awareness and slowing down enough from without pressure, urgency, needing to fix or identify with allowed me to gain my own bodily insights from a higher perspective after regulating myself through that. And then now, as you see here, as I'm recording this video, I'm in the embodiment stage of that, which is making those aligned choices and actions with the inner work that I'm doing on myself. And then from there, we have activated inner liberation, inner freedom in a different area in my life. And that's why the liberation method can be used again and again and again. And it's something that has been following me in the background for the last 10 years of my life, of my inner work journey. It's the thing that has been following me in the background of my coaching business when I launched that 5 years ago. And that's what is out here today. And I'm learning how to really showcase it, share it, because it's something that can greatly change the way that you experience yourself internally. It can greatly change the way that you experience other people and your relationships and your connections, and just make a huge difference in the way that you experience life overall as well. This philosophy has been tried and trued year after year, client after client. And it never fails to amaze me to see each person that comes in this space and digests this philosophy and actually puts it to use. The results that they're able to activate in themselves is just so surreal. And that's why I have been on this journey since I can remember. That's why I don't stop growing and doing these uncomfortable things and learning how to express myself more and share my thoughts more. Like, it's one thing to get out there and be fun and make content in that short form, but it's a whole other level when you want to get out there and share, your deepest thoughts about what you've learned about yourself in your lifetime, what you've learned about, teaching other people in your lifetime, and what you really see for the future of the world and future generations to come. Like, that's a whole different level of self-expression. When I can perform, when I'm learning really how to be in that presence and true soul expression. And that's why I've done so much deep inner work on myself also this last few years of my retransition and coming out as trans again. Like, it's been so much more than just a gender transition to me. That's why I took so long before I started taking testosterone. That's why I've been so gentle on my body during the transition. That's why I've been willing to heal the gender conditioning thoughts that have been coming up, and the urgency and pressure and the comparison and the dysphoria. It's like I really have taken the time to sit with all of that, to learn, to hear what's really underneath the surface. And so I believe that's a gift that I can pass forward to all of those that are willing to listen, all of those that are open to hearing, what this way of thinking, what this philosophy can really do for all of us as a collective. Because I really see so much of it. And that's why I've been doing all this deep work, is to continue to lead this. Because when you have a destiny, when you have a purpose and you start it and you don't really know the vision and it's foggy, like when I think about when I got out there and launched my business and everything 5 years ago, it was so foggy. I was just kind of like everyone else in the coaching and entrepreneurship space of I want to change the world, I want to help as many people as possible. That's all I knew. But that's where this mission and this purpose and this deep meaning grew every single day since then. And that's why I continue to lead it because it just gets deeper in my heart and the vision gets clearer and clearer. And that's why, coming back to why I've been doing all of this like body, nervous system work, and why it's a huge part of what I teach, is because if I clear this channel, then I am allowing, divine, spirit, God, creator to really use me and be a steward to what we're all here for, that greater purpose to serve the divine, the creator. Like, that's the gift in itself. I'm the gift. You're the gift. Each and every single human being on this earth is the gift. But not a lot of people recognize that. The gift of you is found in you continuously developing and expanding your human consciousness until that consciousness expands the world around you. That's the gift of you. The potential you hold, the impact you hold, the kindness you hold, the caringness you hold, the ability to regulate, to have inner strength, to grow your character, to build lifelong skills, to build relationships. That's how I see each and every human as a soul here to live in the human experience as a gift. We each individually have something beautiful to offer within. And no matter what our life looks like on the outside, through childhood, adolescence, the hardships, the trauma, the conditioning, the state of the world, you're bigger than that. So much bigger than that. Don't you ever let that stuff define who you are and what you are capable of. I've always said this since I've started studying human potential and human behavior. Your human potential, it's limitless. We don't even know by science, like, how powerful you truly are in your energetic field. Like, it is limitless. It's not a question of if you're worthy or if you're capable or if you can do it or if you can't do it or if you're going to have the right resources or all of those different things. What it really comes down to is a willingness in yourself. A willingness within yourself. How far will you truly go with yourself in this lifetime? That's the question I've allowed to sit in the driver's seat since I started studying human potential and human behavior. Because I'm curious, really, how far can we go? What can we actually do in a lifetime for the world and humanity around us? You know, we've seen so many great people in history. Martin Luther King, for example, changing a whole culture collectively. And that's just to name one. We just haven't seen it happen in a while. But it's bound to happen again. And that's why I stay in this. Because we are that powerful. We, the people, are powerful. The only revolution and the only true world change comes from within. The basis of the liberation work and the liberation philosophy is self-healing is world healing. The deeper you go with yourself, the deeper you can go with others. And the deeper you can go with yourself, and the deeper you can go with yourself, and the deeper you can go with others, then the deeper and further you can too take the world around you. Let's get it. Thanks for being here.